You're listening to Mammalwatching with Charles Foley and John Hall. You can find other episodes at mammalwatching.com/podcast.
And we fly along in a helicopter and look for the killer whales and see which way they're going, pull up ahead of them, land the helicopter and go out to the ice. And then we can take pictures of them for our catalog when they go by, take biopsy samples if we need them. And I remember one day we had a bunch of them were going by, and I was with some people and they were doing all the photography. And I wondered if the killer whales even knew that we were there. So I thought I was going to make a snowball and throw it at one, and just to see what it would do. And this big female came by, and the snow was so dry that I was having trouble making a snowball. The first one I threw just dissolved. So I patted it down a little harder, and she came by, and probably 3-4 meters away, and I threw the snowball, and it made a little pat sound as it just dissolved. And I was afraid she wasn't even going to feel it because it's sub-freezing water there. And she stopped immediately and just sank. I thought, well, that's kind of weird. And while I was looking around to see what happened to her, I noticed that there was a piece of ice about the size of a basketball that was moving through the fat channel there. And then she came up. She'd been pushing it out with her rostrum. And she arched her head and hit this chunk of ice and threw it several feet in the air. And she spent about the next 10 minutes lofting this chunk of ice into the air right there in front of me. And this blue whale came and circled around us, and then it dove down, and it was just gin clear water. And it's rolling over on its side and looking up at us with this big eyeball, probably curious about what we're doing out there, why interact with it. And when we finally left, and we had to run fast to get away from this thing and wanted to stay with us, I had to think that blue whales historically have had practically nothing to fear in the ocean, and until whaling began. And I think that any genes or predisposition to be curious were probably eliminated a long time ago. And it's been about 50 years or so now since we stopped slaughtering blue whales in the ocean like this. And I have to wonder if maybe we're starting to see some of these animals act like they did before whaling. Maybe curiosity has come back into the behavior that these things do.
If you'd like to listen to the full episode, then visit mammalwatching.com/podcast.